there is the freelancer you once tried to become. Same rates, same services, same vibe, same marketing. And spoiler alert, it obviously never fits because we're all different, to state the obvious. And in this episode, we're digging into that copycat stage of freelancing, the role models, the potential misleads, whether that was a well-meaning other freelancer or ourselves, and the weird freedom of finally sounding like ourselves. So, yeah, Shay, I'm going to kick off. Whose career did you once try and copy? And maybe we would need to kind of expand it, that it's not just freelancing, but do you have role models outside of freelancing or outside of writing that you've tried to model yourself on? And has it worked or has it kind of blown up in your face?
Yeah, so the one that I thought of is when I first started freelancing. The mistake I made of someone that I tried to emulate was actually of myself in my full-time role. So for a number of reasons, I was working in-house as a marketing manager. So first mistake was basing my rates on my salary. So, I think as we've discussed in the past, as a freelancer, you have so many more expenses. You are paying your own medical aid, you're buying your own laptop, paying for your own internet, your own tea and coffee, the list goes on and on, different insurances, etc. So, you're not getting paid time off. So by basing your rates on a salaried position, you are severely undercutting yourself. So that was mistake number one. And then mistake number two was almost taking what I was doing and doing the freelance side of it. So I was working as a freelance, I guess, marketing manager, doing all different bits and pieces of people's marketing. And I ended up doing a whole lot of work that I didn't really enjoy doing, like being a project manager for a website build. And so I had lots of different little clients doing lots of little different things, and it wasn't really an efficient way of working, and I wasn't enjoying all the aspects of my work, and actually wasn't earning much money because I was just a generalist and trying to do everything. So when I changed that in my business and actually became more intentional about doing the writing side, which is the side that I enjoy, that comes naturally, then my business took off from there. So I would say trying to be old me as a freelancer was not working for me. Yeah. And what
Yeah,
about
yeah.
you?
That's so interesting. Well, I met, and I'm sure that a lot of freelancers who have met her will probably say at some stage they would try to emulate her, but Tiffany Markman. I interviewed her
Who
on my
we've, sorry to
podcast.
interrupt,
Really,
who we've had on the
yes,
podcast before. So be sure to go check
yes,
out previous episodes and you'll see why everyone wants to be like her.
yeah. But as amazing as Tiffany is, we've got really, really different personalities. And so for me to try and force myself into the Tiffany mold, that was never really going to work. I did pick up a lot of very cool hints and tips along the way, especially with regards to rates and communicating with clients and that sort of thing. But over the years, I've tried to kind of mold it more so that it fits me rather than being a carbon copy. Um, Outside of freelancing, though, I take a lot of inspiration from musicians, people like Mike Shinoda and Dave Grohl, Maynard James Keenan of the band Tool. They are content creators in multiple ways. They're not just musicians. They do film scores, they do art, they do Maynard James Keenan is a wine farmer as well. So they've got fingers in a lot of pies, and so that's kind of the model now that I'm trying to use to model my business on. That I'm not boxing myself into one specific thing like writing or like
Mm.
marketing. I have several different things that I've got going on. So yeah, that's my cringe one, I suppose, is Tiffany Markman because it's very embarrassing actually to try and to actually admit in public that I try to be like somebody else. But yeah, I've tried to move away from emulating somebody else in my field to picking out what works for other people in other creative fields that are kind of easily publicly accessible. Um, So yeah, that's mine. Um, the next question I have for you is, let's flip the script a little bit. If someone tried to copy you, what mistake would they definitely make? And I suppose this is kind of an interesting one for you because you've written a book, so you're kind of positioning yourself as like a not necessarily a copy me, but here's all the stuff that I went through and that you should know. So you have kind of teed up your or queued up yourself to be copied.
Guess so, but still a lot of stuff that I would say do as I say and not as I do. So something that we speak about all the time, and I always say it's a work in progress, is saying yes to things. And I've gotten a lot better. But please don't say yes to as many things as I do. I just can't help myself. I get excited and, I want to try different things and I literally don't have enough time. And I find myself doing that to this day. Just this morning, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get everything done today. And I haven't got everything done because I've said yes to too many things. So maybe that one was just very top of mind for me when we were discussing the podcast this morning. But please just say no to more things, please. And what about you? What should we absolutely not
Um,
copy from your model?
from my model, please don't copy starting things, going like all in and then losing interest. I lose interest in things really quickly. But when I start them, I'm like, this is going to be my next big thing. And it works for a while and then I get bored of it. And, so yeah, I would say maybe don't avoid that completely because that is where a lot of creativity
Mm,
comes from, trying new
mm.
things. But yeah, maybe don't buy like a bunch of setup things. Just today, I have bought a video capture card and lapel mics because I'm testing something out. And okay, like I didn't go for the most expensive top of the range stuff, but
No,
I
and
have a
I know
feeling that
this
both of those
because
things are
the reason I know
both of
you
those
didn't
things are
go
going
for
to
the
probably
top
end
of
up in
the
the
range one is because Megan sent me
yeah.
earlier the description on Take a Lot that used very not made in South Africa or in an English speaking country kind of English. So is that the one you went for?
Yes, that is the one I went for. So I can't remember what it said. It was like sing if you want to sing. Karaoke is
Karaoke is very
now
free
free.
or something like that
Yes,
on a lapel mic.
on a lapel mic. Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah.
so I'll let you know how that experiment goes. I have a feeling that my karaoke lapel mics and my video capture card are going to end up in my filing cabinet. So, but you don't know unless at least I haven't, set up 50 different podcasts that need all of these things
There we
before
go.
testing them out.
Small ones. Although you did invite me in the same message to a new podcast. So you do keep adding to
Yes.
the list.
So I do keep adding to the list. And that's probably one thing that every freelancer or everyone that is a creative needs to do is if you're adding something somewhere, you have to take away something somewhere else. So I need to look very closely at if I do add the second podcast, what am I going to cut from my creative pipeline because you literally can't keep up with everything. But yeah, I'm running an experiment. Let's put it that way. It's an experiment for
Cool.
now. And Shay is
Don't worry,
Shay is
folks.
one
I
of the
won't
three
let her
guinea
cut
pigs.
this one. Yeah. I won't let you take this
Um,
one away.
no. I think that we've worked hard to build up our audience of 84 people, so we're not going to leave them overnight. Um, cool. Final question. What's the one cringe thing that you did early on because you thought that's what real freelancers do?
So I would get on these, I'll call them sales calls, where, someone was finding out if we'd be a good fit. And I would end up 2 hours down the line, having heard about their grandmother's bunion on their left toe before we eventually, people love to talk about themselves. We all do.
Mm,
And you find you'll get someone and they'll talk about their business and they'll tell you all the stuff that isn't really relevant. And I thought I was being a good freelancer by listening, writing notes in my little notepad, and then coming up with an extensive proposal, that took me 4 hours to do. And then I'd send the proposal and they'd say, oh, no, actually it's too expensive or whatever. So I'd end up
mm,
spending, a whole day's worth of work between this phone call and proposal. And what a waste of time. So yeah,
yeah.
that's something I've learned is what I do now is I send my rate card pretty much immediately so we can establish straight away, is this something you can afford or not? And I've also streamlined
Can
my
you afford me? Yeah.
processes so that I'm getting this information, a lot of it up front via Google form instead of, having to hear the whole long backstory of irrelevant stuff before I get to actually what I need to
Mm,
know. Yeah. So
yeah.
maybe that's not cringy, but having to listen to other people's long stories gets kind of cringy for everyone. So yeah.
Yeah.
And you?
Mine isn't necessarily cringy either, but when I started working, you kind of model yourself on, you need to put in extra hours, you need to do this, you need to do that, and I ended up working all the time. I would work kind of extra hours during the week and then over weekends. I never took public holidays off because you kind of get this thing in your mind that if you're not working, other people, or not other people are getting ahead, but you are getting left behind.
Mm,
You should be working all
sure.
the time. And that's one thing that I've realized, that you don't have to be working all the time. You do need
Mm,
to take breaks for yourself because otherwise you're going to burn out, and then that you're not helping yourself in the long term by doing that. So yeah, take the public holidays, don't work on the weekend. If you do feel like working, then work. But yeah, try to do stuff outside of work because that feeds into the work as well. So that would be mine. Don't work 24/7. It's not helping anybody.
mm,
Uh
preach.
yeah, we would like to know from you. What uh, what is your freelance model? Who did you try and emulate at the beginning of your freelance journey? Who are you trying to emulate right now? Is it working for you? We want to know. Pop it in the comments, and we will check you in the next episode. Yes, Shay.
And if you, sorry, I do want to say one thing. If you say one of us, we'll be so flattered. So please do.
No, no prizes though. Just it's just
No, no, we
for
can't
our
afford
own
prizes,
ego,
but yeah,
our own ego purposes.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
cool. See you in the next episode.